Hi Claire, it's Giles. Just can I test the sound?
Hi Giles. Yes, we can hear you perfectly.
Excellent. Thank you. Bye.
Thanks very much.
Right, hello everybody. We've just gone past 7:30, which is great. So I'm just going to give it a couple of minutes just to see if we've got any late arrivers coming, and then we'll do our best to get started. It's amazing to see so many of you here already. Thank you. Once you have joined, if we could ask you just to mute yourselves and turn your cameras off, that would be great, thanks. Okay, I will get going if that's okay. So I believe the live streaming has started already. Great. So good evening, everybody. My name's Neil Redfern. I'm the Executive Director of the Council for British Archaeology. This is not quite the venue I was expecting, sitting in my living room and looking at you all via Zoom. But hey, such is the world we live in today. Not COVID, but a storm has meant that we can't actually get up to Edinburgh. We really do hope you're all keeping safe and well, and we do understand why the castle put our safety first at this late time. So we've adopted the timings for tonight's awards ceremony, and we really hope you'll be able to join us in celebrating some truly outstanding archaeological projects. And it was actually our commitment to recognise and celebrate all the nominations, shortlisted entries, and all the winners that you'll hear about that was behind our decision to go online at such short notice. We really felt everyone had got this date in their diary, and we really wanted to make the most of it. So please sit back, enjoy a drink or something to eat, make use of the chat function to say hello to everyone. Just so you know, we will be recording the proceedings, and they are being live streamed via the CBA's YouTube channel, so that we will be able to use the content afterwards. Okay. We have set the programme so that each of the award highly commended projects or winners will be able to say something, and we'll come on to more of that housekeeping just before we get to the actual awards ceremony itself. Okay, so as I said, please can we ask you to keep your cameras and mics off, but please do make full use of the chat bar and all the emoji functions. So when the awards are announced, make use of those so people can see your appreciation. Okay, I have all the awards here, and we will hopefully be posting them all out to the winners before Christmas. And we would really love to see your photographs and images of you with the awards. Do us a short film if you wanted to, so we can really share those, so that actually we can make it feel like that actually, you know, everyone can see you with the awards in your hand. So without further ado, what I'd like to do now is hand you over to the host tonight, our president, Raksha Dave, who is going to take you through the rest of the ceremony. Thank you.
Hello, everyone, and good evening, and welcome to the 2021 Archaeological Achievement Awards. We're really pleased that the Lord Provost of Edinburgh is also joining us tonight virtually too. I actually made it to Scotland, believe it or not, but I'm now at my sister's in the Bridge of Allen and my brother-in-law's, and I'm at their abode whilst Storm Barrett whips up a fury outside. But I'd like you to close your eyes and imagine yourselves at a wintry, windswept Edinburgh Castle. And despite everything, offer a special thanks to Historic Environment Scotland for all their help and support beyond being able to control the weather. We are going to keep to as much of the format of the ceremony as we had planned for the in-person event. So we commence tonight's ceremony with a presentation from Becky Jones, Head of Archaeology and World Heritage at Historic Environment Scotland, looking at Scotland's archaeological strategy.
Thank you very much, Raksha. I'm just going to share my screen now, so if you can tell me if it's working properly. Is that now visible?
All looks great, Becky.
Lovely, thank you. Well, thank you very much to Raksha and Neil, and thank you for asking me to give you a brief overview this evening of Scotland's archaeology strategy. I was hoping that we would be in Edinburgh Castle tonight, and it's a shame that that this storm is named after one of my favourite Scottish islands, Barra. But I think you will appreciate that the health and safety of visitors and staff at the castle is absolute of paramount importance, and was the reason why we had to cancel it, which is, I know, a shame, but congratulations to everybody at CBA for making this happen online this evening. I also want to welcome you from Historic Environment Scotland. For those of you that don't know HES particularly well, we're the lead public body for Scotland's historic environment, and we're established in 2015. We have a grant from the Scottish Government which enables us to carry out our business in line with our corporate plan together with income from charging and revenue through over 300 properties that we have across Scotland, one of which obviously Edinburgh Castle you were due to be in this evening. And obviously, like many of you, income has been challenging in the recent pandemic, to say the least, and that is before we factor in disruptions like tonight's storm. HES has been set up to investigate, care for and promote Scotland's historic environment. I've got our 5 key areas from the corporate plan on this slide, and we'll be celebrating lots of fantastic historic environment activity across the UK and Ireland this evening. Now, Scotland's archaeology strategy was also launched in 2015. The need to have a national strategy for archaeology was identified in a review of the then historic Scotland's archaeology function in 2012. So the Scottish Strategic Archaeology Committee was first convened in 2013 with representatives from key areas of expertise across the sector. It is this group which continues to drive the strategy forward today. It's a dynamic committee which is focusing on strategy delivery and promotion of archaeology more widely. So I'm glad to be able to give you a brief overview of the strategy this evening at an event celebrating archaeology across the whole of the UK and Ireland. Now, the archaeology strategy itself sits beneath 2 national strategies: Our Place in Time on the right here, the Scottish Government's Historic Environment Strategy for Scotland, which was launched in 2014, plus the Museums Galleries Scotland National Strategy Going Further, which was launched a few years earlier. And the archaeology strategy, in effect, delivers the archaeological components of Our Place in Time and connects into the Museums Galleries strategy, recognising the key dependencies between archaeological practice and museum curation. Now, the strategy itself was launched as a 10-year strategy by the then Cabinet Secretary for Culture, Fiona Hislop, MSP, at the European Association for Archaeologists annual meeting in Glasgow in September 2015. It was launched following a wide consultation across Scotland and presents a shared vision for the archaeological sector in Scotland, which you can see on this slide here. One key change we have made to the strategy since its launch was the addition of an explicit equality and diversity statement. We had attempted to be as inclusive as possible in the language used in the strategy, but realised we'd been implicit rather than explicit on equality and diversity, and so we corrected that. And the statement is published on the strategy website and in the 2020 annual report. The strategy itself has 5 aims, each of which is led by a different lead body in the sector, which I will run through briefly. There's a delivery plan which accompanies the strategy and specific objectives which the lead bodies are responsible for taking forward. But each aim has as its broad vision collectively improving the way we do archaeology and how we disseminate the results. Now, because we are now 6 years since the launch of the strategy, we undertook a 5-year review at the end of last year, which was launched in spring of this year, following obviously what can only be described as an interesting year for everyone. But we felt it was particularly important to celebrate the achievements of the sector at this point, to demonstrate the vibrancy of Scottish archaeology, and that we're capable of working together as a sector to solve problems. Ultimately, the strategy is all about collaboration. And if we demonstrate nothing else by 2025, I hope that we've shown that we're capable of coming together to work in the interests of the whole sector. Now, the chair of the Scottish Strategic Archaeology Committee, Dr. Andy Heald, represented the archaeology sector at the COVID Historic Environment Resilience Forum in 2020, which was hosted by the Built Environment Forum Scotland. And together with FAME, Algeo and Landward Archaeology, his presentation led to a publication on archaeology and COVID-19 in Scotland last year. Now, the first aim of the strategy is all about delivering archaeology, raising standards, ensuring best practice and followed, and promoting Scottish archaeology. It's led by Historic Environment Scotland, but it's very much a collaboration across the sector. Now, one such collaboration was a series of workshops in autumn 2019, when we were able to have in-person workshops, which was led by the Chartered Institute for Archaeologists with funding from Historic Environment Scotland to discuss the structure and funding of Scottish archaeology. The results and recommendations are being addressed by the Strategic Archaeology Committee. The aim is also partly about promoting Scottish archaeology, and one of the ways we've sought to do this is through a yearly celebration of the achievements of the sector. The Celebrating Archaeology in Scotland magazine is produced in autumn of every year and serves as the annual review for the strategy, and it celebrates and promotes the projects which deliver it. We put out a call for contributions in May or June every year, and anyone can offer a project for inclusion. And all issues are available to download from the strategy website. Each year, we feel that our annual report has improved on the previous year's one, and this year is no exception. So I would encourage you all to download it and have a look, either the link on this slide or through the Archaeology Strategy website. And I'm delighted that our cover image of this year's one from Scotland's Rock Art project represents a project that has been shortlisted this evening in the engagement and participation category. Now, the second aim is all about enhancing understanding and is led by the Society of Antiquaries of Scotland. It's about promoting and supporting research and making knowledge accessible. And I'd like to take the opportunity this evening to congratulate my colleagues at the Antics for their recent publication, Darkness Visible, which was awarded Scottish Research Book of the Year at the Saltire Society Awards last weekend. This really showcases the fantastic research undertaken by Lindsay Buster and Ian Armit at Sculptors Cave in Murray, which was grant aided by HES as part of our strategy delivery to see long-running research come to fruition. In the case of Lindsay and Ian's project, this was building on earlier fascinating work from the 1970s and the 20s at one of the most enigmatic prehistoric sites in Britain. It's been a fantastic example of using innovative methods and new techniques to re-examine earlier excavation results and place the site in its wider European context. And great to see it recognised in this way. And a key part of the delivery of the strategy is the development of the regional research frameworks for Scottish archaeology, known as SCARF, which builds on the national framework, which was launched 9 years ago. And these are being delivered through a range of local partnerships with different delivery models in different areas, depending on what suits that area. These regional research frameworks are intended to make archaeological research more accessible to a wider audience and to make SCARF a more useful tool for local authority archaeologists, community groups, or anyone else making decisions and undertaking research. And I'm delighted to see the Highland Regional Research Framework shortlisted for 2 awards this evening. Now, a part of this accessibility of knowledge, we've all been promoting open access publications, journals and books for as many Scottish archaeological papers as we can. The Society of Antiquaries of Scotland recently launched an online ebook platform offering an increasing number of its titles for free. The third aim of the strategy is all about caring and protecting, and it's jointly led by Algeo Scotland and the National Museum Scotland, also with the support of Museums Galleries Scotland. One of the key achievements of Aim 3 has been the establishment of a museums working group. This is a dynamic partnership of representatives from museums across Scotland to discuss priority issues relating to the curation of archaeological collections. It's before the museums project completed last year, and amongst its achievements were a review of how the current process is or is not working, the creation of guidelines for making archaeological finds museum ready, and a feasibility study into the implementation of a processing fee by museums for accessioning the physical element of archaeological archives. Also, the Scottish Heritage Crime Group, although not specifically created as a strategy project at its inception, does now fall under the banner of projects which deliver the strategy. This one is a collaboration between key heritage organisations in Scotland and Police Scotland via the Scottish Rural Crime Partnership. This group is raising awareness of heritage crime in police forces around Scotland and improving processes around reporting incidents, as well as police awareness of how to treat sites, archaeological finds, and human remains. The fourth aim is that of encouraging greater engagement and is led by Archaeology Scotland, CBA's partner organisation in Scotland, and promotes a range of engagement activities such as education, interpretation and presentation. I'm delighted to see their project on lifelong learning in lockdown being shortlisted in the engagement and participation category this evening. Archaeology Scotland run the hugely successful Heritage Hero Awards. These are about encouraging young people to engage with the past and improve their confidence and well-being. Since 2017, well over 13,000 awards have been presented across Scotland, and there are different levels from explorer and detective through bronze, silver and gold, and activities can be based around any form of heritage, and they are free and open to everyone. Now, whilst designed for young people, participants of all ages are welcome. Another excellent example of partnership and engagement was the Forestry and Land Scotland-led Dunderdale project, part of the National Lottery Heritage Fund's Never Escape Partnership and working with AOC Archaeology and the University of Stirling. As well as being a fascinating piece of research, it produced creative responses to the excavations, which can be downloaded from Forestry and Land Scotland's website, and I've got the list here. I'm delighted to see another Forestry and Land Scotland initiative, A Song in Stone, exploring Scotland's rock art, shortlisted for the Public Presentation or Dissemination Award tonight. And finally, the last aim of the strategy is innovation and skills, and is led by the Chartered Institute for Archaeologists. One working group of the strategy is looking at skills shortages and training provision, including routes which widen access into archaeology, which we hope will help diversify the workforce. Last but not least, I'd like to introduce you to Historic Environment Scotland's Archaeological Science Manager, Dr. Lisa Brown. Now, she is herself a deliverable of the strategy, as she was our first Archaeological Science Manager and created as a result of some of the discussions around the strategy. Now, she works very closely with Historic England science advisors, so I must thank them here, to deliver up-to-date information and advice to Scottish archaeology. And I would also like me to point out that this photo was taken at Blacklock of Merton, a waterlogged Iron Age site in Dumfries and Galloway, where some very whizzy archaeological science is helping to reconstruct the lives and landscape of the people who lived there. This is an AOC archaeology-led project with grant funding from HES, which also connected into the Arts and Humanities Research Council-funded Celtic Connections and Crannogs project at Southampton University. And with that, hopefully I've given you a brief overview. So I'd like to thank you for listening. Do encourage you to have a look at the Archaeology Strategy website, which is archaeologystrategy.scot. Do download the annual reports and 5-year review. And I hope that you've seen what a collaborative effort we're trying to do here in Scotland. And with that, I'll hand back to Raksha. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Becky. That was really interesting. Thank you very much. Now I'm going to hand you over to Neil for some housekeeping, probably more virtual housekeeping than it being in present housekeeping, but you never know.
Thank you. Yes, I'm not about to clean my house, but I am going to try and help you get through the next hour and a half or so of the actual awards ceremony. So firstly, I can just say the bar will remain open throughout the evening. No, sorry, wrong script. That's what I would have said if we were in Edinburgh Castle. I hope your own virtual bars will remain open, and do feel free to pop off and get a drink. There is also, obviously, no need to wear a face mask in your own house, so please do socialise normally. Anyway, how will the awards actually work? Right, okay, so it is going to be probably a little bit clunky, but we hope it's going to work. There will be a PowerPoint backdrop to the awards, okay? But every so often, we're going to have to drop out of the PowerPoint in order to allow those people who have been highly commended or are the winners of the awards to be able to come on the screen and virtually receive their award. So this is what we'd like to do. Raksha will introduce the award. The shortlisted candidates will appear on your screen. We will then ask one of the sponsors to come online and present the highly commended award, if there is one in that category, and then Raksha will speak to the people who are on the have been highly commended. We will then go back onto the PowerPoint and announce the winner of the individual winner of that category. And again, Raksha will then ask them to make themselves known so that we can show them their award and actually have a word with them. Now, that's the really clunky bit. So we're going to have to drop in and out of the PowerPoint presentation. And I'm really sorry, we haven't found any other way of doing it simply at such short notice. But what's really important, if you are highly commended or if you are announced as a winner, can you please make yourselves known to us? Okay, so that actually we can make sure that you're not muted and that you can turn your cameras on, and so that we can see you, and so then Raksha can actually say hello to you. So I hope that makes sense. We're slightly going to play it by ear. We have had a run through and it seemed to work, and we will try and make it go as smoothly as possible. And I have absolutely no doubt by the time we get to the final award of the evening, we'll be absolutely perfect. But I'm sorry, we can't do it any more smoothly, so to speak. So what I'll do now is I'm going to hand you back to Raksha. I'm going to leave my camera on, and I'm here if needed. I have all the awards on my table in front of me, and the certificates for the highly commended. So I'll be able to wave those about at the right moment in time. So Raksha, over to you. Let's see how it goes.
Thank you, Neil. So the first award of the evening is the Archaeological Innovation Award. Now, this award celebrates innovative approaches and techniques in archaeology, championing the use of imaginative practice and ways of doing things differently. This award is sponsored by our friends at Wessex Archaeology. So the shortlisted projects are Highland Archaeological Research Framework, Derbyshire Scout Archaeology Badge, and Changing Minds, Changing Coasts. We are delighted to ask Giles Woodhouse, Chief Strategy Officer at Wessex Archaeology, to present the award. So Giles, over to you.
Raksha, thank you very much. Wessex Archaeology is really delighted to be sponsoring the Innovation Award, and I'm delighted to announce firstly the highly commended project as Changing Minds, Changing Coasts.
Fabulous. Congratulations. And where are you? Have we found them? Have we found them?
So do we have anyone from Changing Minds, Changing Coasts on the Zoom call? Hello, there we do. Excellent. Here is your virtual certificate, and it's coming towards you.
There's that supposed to be that funny thing where they catch it. I absolutely love the idea of this project. It's a true combination of oral histories, personal history, and new data. But how much did your team learn about climate change in Mersey?
Oh, it's a good one, isn't it? We learned a lot. We learned a lot. It was a fascinating process to be able to work with our volunteers and to really get all the information that's helpful for these projects. So that was our big takeaways, that if you want to understand climate change, if you want to understand these really small changes that happen over a long period of time on an island community, you talk to the people that live there.
Yeah, and also I think there was lots of changes within human lifetime, I suppose, as well. It was a big important thing for us. So it was interesting to see how much people remember and also how much that has changed. And it's changed significantly on Mersey and probably very likely in a lot of other places too. So it was great to be able to quantify that.
And even on the local level, we learned a lot about the local changes geographically, topographically, of the actual marsh receding and of the changing cultural processes. So we learned a lot about the locality and how that had changed.
And excitingly, watch the space for more. Yeah.
Great. A brilliant project. Thank you very much. Right, Giles. So the overall winners are, drum roll.
Need to build a little bit of suspense, so as if we're in the room. And I'm really pleased about this because I was a chair of a former group in Dorset, and so without any further delay, I'm delighted to announce the overall winner is the Derbyshire Scout Archaeology Badge. Well done.
Hooray!
Brilliant. Okay, and so now let's see if we've got anyone in the audience on Zoom from Derbyshire. We do!
Fabulous. I love that
so
Derbyshire
much.
Scout producing future archaeologists. What kind of skills do you think that these scouts have developed gaining the archaeology badge?
So many, and this is one of the great things we created the badge, because as I studied at university, I found it was such a multidisciplinary subject. It gives young people the basic sort of entry to archaeology of being outside and learning practical skills and things that really link into scouting. But then it also uses that foundation to take it to the next level of theoretical understanding of, okay, so how can we understand the past, and what does understanding the past tell us about now and the future? And like I've always thought with archaeology, it can help us solve so many things, from discrimination and climate change, that they are able to learn all these skills, all from the age of 4 up until 25. So many skills are there to be learnt.
Fabulous, I love it. Neil, would you like to virtually give them their award?
I would. Here we go. Here it's coming.
Yeah, we got it. Thank you so much.
And obviously we get your certificate as well.
Brilliant, thank you so much, and thank you very much, Giles, as well.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Right, well, moving on to the second award of the night. That didn't go too badly, Neil, I don't think.
That worked quite well.
Yes, so the second award of the evening is the Public Dissemination or Presentation Award. This award celebrates books and publications, exhibitions, films, social media, or presentations. It can relate to a specific site, artifact, place, or a wider landscape. The award is sponsored by Headland Archaeology, and the shortlisted projects are St Mary's Field Museum, the Unsilenced Stones, Hidden Histories of Leicester, Quilla to Claniche Memory Map, A Song in Stone exploring Scotland's Neolithic rock art, hashtag Rushvik's 1740 excavating and inspiring, the Elaine Evans Archaeology Gallery, and Pop Idol. We are delighted to ask Russell Coleman, the Managing Director of Headland, to present the award. So Russell, over to you.
Hello, good evening to everyone. I've always wanted to do something like this, but never quite imagined it would be quite like this. Anyway, Headland is delighted to be sponsoring this award, which is for the public dissemination or presentation. There looks like some pretty serious competition for this award, and I'm delighted to announce that we have 2 highly commended projects, which are Pop Idol and the St Mary's Field Museum.
Can we talk to Pop Idol first? And congratulations. Hello.
Hi, Eve Campbell here from Pop Idol. So, we're absolutely thrilled. Thank you so much.
Great. So Pop Idol sounds like a bad Simon Cowell format. Well, actually, you're referring to the Anthropomorphic Sculpture. How were the public fascinated by that?
Yeah, so we were carrying out archaeological works in advance of the road in Ireland when we had over 100 sites, but one of the most exciting sites was a large prehistoric wetland site with this phenomenal Iron Age wooden figure with really interesting late date. So we knew that this would be a really great way to get people interested in the broader archaeology of the scheme. So we sort of created a narrative around it, and we were able to talk about how it was so close to the Christianization of Ireland and use it as a kind of a way to hook people in to talk about the broader archaeology, about wetlands, about bogs, and about all the other phenomenal sites that we found along the project. So yeah, I was doing interviews with everyone from Athlone community radio station to the Washington Post, and we had lots of different language coverage. So it was a really great experience.
Brilliant. That sounds brilliant. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And congratulations. Can we speak to St Mary's Field Museum? Is anybody there?
So Guy says there. Rachel's there.
I'm here as well. I'm not sure if
Excellent.
Guy's having some technical difficulties at the minute, but hi.
Hello.
There he is.
Hi, it's really interesting that you built a training program, an education offer, and a museum around a community excavation. What did people learn about their local area?
Well, yeah, it's not community excavation, it's commercial excavation. So I think what we felt was really unique about some areas is that we were able to actually build that whole setup within like a really hardcore kind of construction environment, and that was the biggest challenge, really. And then we were able to bring the people in, like not only local community, but like a much wider, audience really onto site, and learn all about the site that what we were excavating, but also a lot about kind of practice and just to gain. There's a huge element of it which is actually about engagement and participation, which is not just about us kind of projecting. So it's not just us kind of disseminating information to people. It's also about this kind of idea that people are going to participate and contribute.
Great. Thank you so much, Guy.
And obviously, the whole thing is like is a part of a very long running project where we've produced a whole kind of evolution of these little pop-up museums, trying to work out how that we can bring some of that really good community archaeology spirit into like a really commercial environment. And I think that Rachel, who's also here, deserves a lot of credit for making that happen inside a really difficult kind of commercial framework and making that happen.
Well done. Rachel, do you want to say anything? Any few words?
Over to you, Rachel.
I mean, obviously we're delighted to be highly commended. It was a really tough challenge. Not only were we contending with the difficulties of inviting, over 1,500 members of the public onto a construction site, we were doing it in the middle of a global pandemic as well. So, operating within government guidelines, etc. It was all, a really big challenge. But the design and the passion and the effort LP Archaeology put into it was really, really great to see. So it was a delight working with them on it, and I'm so pleased that it's been recognised.
Congratulations to all.
There's the whole team of people there that deserve credit, and obviously me and Rachel are here. Figureheading thing, but there's a lot of people involved. Yeah, well, yeah, quite. I won't bore you with the whole list of it, but my dog, starting with my dog and my kids, but
Where's the music? Yeah. Okay, thank you so much. And Russell, can you please tell us who the overall winners are, please?
Yep. I'm very pleased to say that the overall winners of the Public Dissemination or Presentation Award are the Quilla to Cleanish Memory Map.
Congratulations. Do we have them? Brilliant. Do we have them here?
We do. I can see Barney in the middle of the screen now.
Hello, Barney.
Hello, Raksha. How are you? Thank you very much.
Very well. I'm very well. Congratulations. I want to know, how has the digital space enabled you to collect human stories, and have there been any interesting revelations?
Well, yes, of course, there always are when you're talking about people, local people. Yeah, I mean, we were very, very lucky. We have a lot of interesting people, a lot of expertise, and the area within which we are working comes from Culcott Mountain down to Cleanish Island on Lough Erne. So we're looking at the whole area from mountain top to the loch, and we're looking at a deep mapping exercise, if you like. So we're going right back to the Mesolithic and the Neolithic, the Bronze Age, the early Christian, right up to the modern period. And because we've been doing heritage projects there now for the last 6 or 7 years, we've collected a lot of interviews done by young people. We've had young people make films about the area. We've had a whole rich tableau of local history organizations. So during lockdown, we couldn't do a lot of the other projects that we had planned to do. So we really dug down, if you pardon the pun, gathered up all of these recordings and films, went out and pulled it all together, delighted to have had a professional map maker archaeologist come alongside us, along with a professional sound recordist. And we pulled in the natural heritage, the built, archaeological and cultural heritage of the area. And there's over 120 places that you can point your arrow to on the cursor of the laptop, and you can mine down deep into the whole history and heritage and culture of the area. So we were very, very pleased that we had such a rich vein of information and data and film and recordings that we could pull upon.
Fabulous, thank you. Here's Neil trying to virtually give you your award now.
So Barney, I do have to ask you, as we did have a quick conversation, you were making your way to Edinburgh. Did you get there?
Well, I have to tell you, we're very brave. We came across a very windy Irish sea. We flew in, we are in Edinburgh. We're looking up here now at the castle. And I'd like to say thank you to you all. It's a pity that you couldn't be here, but we're here, and we're delighted that you have presented us with this tonight. So thank you very, very much indeed, Neil, and thank you very much, Raksha, on behalf of the whole of the committee of Culca to Cleanish and all of our helpers and volunteers and supporters.
Thank you very much. Congratulations. Thank you, Russell. So we're now going to move on to the third award of the evening, which is the Learning, Training and Skills Award. This award celebrates training, learning and skills across academic, public and commercial archaeology. And the award is sponsored by AMS. The shortlisted projects are Wessex Archaeology Formal Learning Programme, Mola Early Career Archaeologist Programme, Leeds Museums and Galleries Primary School Membership and Curriculum Planning, UCD Centre for Experimental Archaeology and Material Culture, The Tomb and the Museum, a grassroots approach to heritage education, and Behaviours and the Art of Applied Learning in Archaeology. And we are delighted to ask Steve Lancaster, the UK manager of AMS, to present the award.
Good evening, everybody. Very pleased to be here virtually. AMS is proud to be sponsoring the Learning, Training and Skills Award. And I'm delighted to announce we just have one overall winner for this category. And that winner is Leeds Museums and Galleries Primary School Membership and Curriculum Planning.
Congratulations.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. Sorry, I know everyone else has maintained decorum. I'll calm down now. I'm so excited. Thank you so much.
Great
Just
Christmas
the response
tree.
we want.
Yeah. We're so upset to be with you in Edinburgh. Thank you so much. I don't know if you have a question for me, Raksha, or what?
How does making archaeology more accessible in classrooms enhance learning in your local schools?
I think we're so proud that we lend our archaeology collections out and we lend them into our primary schools, and the number of conversations I've had with museums who go, "You lend your collections out, what are you doing?" But the difference that I see it making in the schools that we work with is phenomenal. You know, the difference for the children of being able to hold and touch real artifacts and be able to like really have that inspiration and that connection to history, and for the teachers as well to be able to support them to understand how archaeology works and what those skills are and how they can pass that on to the children. And we're so proud that we've got the Leeds curriculum, and through that we're sort of helping schools to also really tie into their local archaeological sites. I think I'm so proud of this, because I know that the teachers who are in our membership and who've worked with us are all rooting for us, and they're really proud of the work that they're doing too. And I think that they're great. We couldn't do this without the schools that we work with.
Thank you so much. That's fabulous. And thank you very much as well, Steve, for sponsoring the award and presenting it to our brilliant team at Leeds Museums and Galleries.
Thank you so
much. Gosh, moving swiftly on we are. So this fourth award of the evening is the Engagement and Participation Award. This award celebrates projects that focus on broadening participation in archaeology in all forms and is not just limited to on-site delivery or activities. This award is sponsored by University Archaeology UK. And the shortlisted projects are Scotland's Rock Art Project, Highland Archaeological Research Framework, Killarcloughain Portal Tombs Project, the Fewston Churchyard Assemblage, Lifelong Learning in Lockdown, Archaeology Scotland, Public Engagement Citizens Digital Response to the Pandemic, Clonty Fort County Fermanagh Community Archaeological Excavation, the Excavation Roundhouse Operation Nightingale, and D-Day Stories from the Walls. We're delighted to ask Professor Chris Gerard, Chair of UA UK, to present the award.
Rapture, I think someone's hacked the account and has written some interesting things on the screen.
Yes.
I wonder whether we shouldn't just ask everyone to log off and log back on again. Oh no, hang on, the presentation.
I think in the first instance, I'm not sure we stopped.
Okay, there we go. That's it. It's gone. Yeah. That's great. Okay, Rapture, I think we're good to go again.
Okay, Chris.
Thank you, Raksha. Thank you. So, University Archaeology UK is delighted to be sponsoring the Engagement and Participation Award. And I'm delighted to announce a highly commended project, D-Day Stories from the Walls.
Do we have D-Day Stories from the Walls with us?
So this is where the nervous anticipation sets in. Anybody there for D-Day?
Shall we move on and then we can?
Yeah, we can definitely. If they come in later, we can definitely come back to them.
Great.
But a huge well done to them.
Oh, hang on. No, okay. Chris, do you want to come up with the next?
Fortunately, we have two overall winners in this category. Excavation Roundhouse, Operation Nightingale, and Lifelong Learning in Lockdown, Archaeology Scotland.
Congratulations. Can we have the Excavation Roundhouse Operation Nightingale? Richard Osgood.
Hello, Rapture. How are you?
I'm all right. How are you?
Yeah, long time no see. I'm not getting blown about in Winchester. Thank you so much. That's brilliant. That's so cool. I'm involved to be so chuffed with that. That's really, really good. Thank you, everyone.
So this is quite a labour of love, I feel, going from the excavation to the research stage to the experimental archaeology phase. So what did you all learn as a team?
I learned that I'm useless at this sort of thing, which was probably clear to everyone at the start. But I think it just shows all the different techniques that you need to bring to bear, and you need to get this teamwork, which I think a lot of our military veterans had anyway. And I think there's no right answer. There's no blueprint for a Bronze Age house. So I think we're going to continue to learn about whether there's a chalk wall or a turf wall or a wickerwork wall. I think we're always going to continue to learn. And I think it also was just perfect because of lockdown that we could be in the open air. And I think it also emphasized to us how valuable being in a beautiful place was, and it is to people.
Great, thank you so much, and congratulations.
Thank you.
Do we have lifelong learning in lockdown, Archaeology Scotland?
Hello.
Hello.
Hi. I'm glad to put my sparkly frock on now. Amazing. Thank you.
I almost did, and then I was like, no, I'm just gonna wear a stupid jumper.
I've got a big cardigan as well. It's still pretty cold.
It's really life-affirming to learn that archaeology can have such a positive impact on people, especially to their mental health and well-being. How has your project supported people with dementia and their families?
It's been such an interesting experience for us as well, and we've worked really closely with Alzheimer's Scotland. And if we'd been in Edinburgh Castle, I would have a colleague from Alzheimer's Scotland with me there, because we worked so closely. They did a lot of the hard work getting the people living with dementia and their carers up to speed on using digital platforms, because that was the big barrier we had initially. But once all that hard work was done, we were able to do all the fun stuff and introduce them to archaeology, to learn together with them about local sites. And really it was the feedback mainly from the carers that showed us how much of an impact it was having. It was that escape for an hour or so once a month. We'd get together yeah, so it was great. We had some lovely feedback from them, and we learned a lot from them as well, because they're the local residents in those areas, and although we've done field work in some of those places, it's very different to people who've grown up there and know all about the place. So yeah.
Fabulous. Thank you so much, and well done. Congratulations.
Thank you. Amazing.
Excellent. Do we have anybody from D-Day Stories from the Walls to talk to? Anybody?
We will definitely get in touch with them, and we'll make sure that, you know, we treat them specially when we get their certificate to them.
Fabulous. Brilliant work, and thank you so much, Chris.
Pleasure.
Oh gosh, rattling on. This is the 5th award of the evening, and it's the Early Career Archaeologist Award. Now, this award celebrates the contribution of an early career archaeologist. The award is sponsored by the Royal Archaeological Institute, and the shortlisted candidates are Iris Kramer, Liam Hand and Samantha Purchase at the University of Sheffield, Isabel Johnson, Grace Griffith, and Zoe Arthurs. We are delighted to ask Tanya Romankovic on behalf of the RAI to present the award. Tanya, are you there?
Yes, hello, and thank you, Raksha, and good evening to everyone. Well, the Archaeological Institute is delighted to be sponsoring the Early Career Archaeologist Award, and I'm delighted to announce that we have a highly commended nomination, which is Iris Kramer. Congratulations.
Hello.
Thank you so much. Yeah, so exciting. Really cool.
So I've got a question for you, Iris. You founded Arc AI, which is a startup that uses AI to detect archaeology. How do you think AI will be used in the future within our sector?
So the way I'm using it now is we're using AI to automatically detect archaeological sites. We're using LiDAR at the moment, and also satellite and aerial imagery. And so that is working really well to detect archaeological sites, and by knowing where sites are, we can protect them. And so that's my use case at the moment, but I think it will be useful in lots of different ways, also with finds, and there are some cases where they've already created an app where you can date pottery just in the field while you are there, so you can make quicker decisions while you're out there in the field. So there are lots of different ways, I think, in which AI will become more and more useful.
Great. I'm really interested in your work. Thank you so much and congratulations.
Thank you.
So Tanya, the overall category winner is?
Yes, again, delighted on behalf of the Royal Archaeological Institute that is sponsoring this Early Career Archaeologist Award. Our overall category winner is Grace Griffith. Congratulations.
Yay!
Hey.
Hi.
Hi.
Thank you so much. I really didn't expect this. I'm a bit in shock.
Congratulations, Grace. Do you have
thank
any
you so
advice? Do you have any advice for any early career archaeologists?
I would just say if you're interested in it, then go for it. I've enjoyed every second, even though it's wet and muddy a lot of the time. It's worth it when you find that artifact and have that connection to past societies. And yeah, just the camaraderie on site. I just love everything about it. So I would say if you're interested, go for it.
Fabulous. There's Neil trying to throw your certificate at you through the screen.
Thank you so much.
Congratulations.
Thank
Enjoy
you.
your celebrations.
I will do. Thanks. Bye.
Before our final award of the evening, I would like to ask Jeanette Plummer-Sayers to come to say a few words on behalf of the judging panel for this year's awards. Hi, Jeanette.
Hi, Araksha. Thank you, everyone. I hope you're having a great evening. We, the judges, we developed the Archaeological Achievement Awards to celebrate the best in archaeology in the UK and the Republic of Ireland, in all its brilliance, diversity, energy, and commitment. All of these characteristics have been evident in spades in the nominations we have received, and they far exceeded our already high expectations. As practitioners of archaeology in its various forms, it's been an honor and an eye-opening experience to be involved in developing the awards and judging the nominations. It has taken a huge amount of work, but it was made possible by a superb team of judges who have generously gifted their time, knowledge, perspective, and collegiality in the impossibly difficult process of identifying winners among such high quality nominations. From the smallest sparky innovation to the biggest long-term program, the nominations for the Archaeological Achievement Awards in 2021 have provided us with a source of joy and inspiration, showcased by your commitment to your communities and your ingenuity in adapting archaeology to the changing world. We give our congratulations to all of you here tonight, and despite the change of plans, we wish you all a deservedly great evening. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Jeanette. The final award of this evening is the Outstanding Archaeological Achievement Award. This award celebrates the project or nomination that the judges consider has made a substantial positive contribution to archaeology, and the award's cross-cutting themes. This award is sponsored by AOC Archaeology. The award is open to both nominations and all the category winners of the individual awards. So the shortlisted projects who were nominated by third parties are Ali Cameron, Dr. Chloe Duckworth, Middlesex Hospital Annex, Operation Nightingale, Sean Wood's Archaeology Group, Stephen Sherlock, the Irish Archaeology Field School. And to repeat who the winners of the individual award who are also within this category are Derbyshire Scout Archaeology Badge, Excavation Roundhouse Operation Nightingale, Quiller to Clinish Memory Map, Leeds Museums and Galleries Primary School Membership and Curriculum Planning, Lifelong Learning in Lockdown Archaeology Scotland, and Grace Griffith. We're delighted to ask Andy Heald, Managing Director of AOC, to come and present the award. Hello, Andy.
Hello, good evening. Can I, as usual, go off script a little bit and just thank Neil and Raksha for presenting tonight. I don't know if anybody else is going to thank you, so I'll do that on behalf of everybody else. So well done, Neil, for your team for managing to turn this around. I'm sure we'll see you in Edinburgh soon. AOC is delighted to sponsor the Outstanding Achievement Award. And the winner is, drum roll, Culca to Cleanish Memory Map. Congratulations.
Arnie, where are you?
He's here.
Congratulations.
Is in Edinburgh.
I'm going to come and join you, Barney.
You'd be more than welcome. We're in the Point A Hotel. Come on down.
Down in 15 minutes.
Thank you very much. Well, that's wonderful news. What can I say? What do you want me to say?
Well, congratulations again. What do you want to do what's the future of your project?
Oh, well, now, we are so passionate about heritage. You know, I mean, heritage is one of those wonderful things that encompasses all aspects of multidisciplinary activities, archaeology, history, geology, folklore, culture, music, arts, all of those things. And we're very, very lucky where we live in Fermanagh to have such a rich vein of that. And we're kind of very big into humble heritage. And we kind of call it that because it's not the big house, it's not the, you know, elites that we read about. It's the ordinary people. And we're very, very proud of the range of activities and experts in the community who know their stuff around geology and anthropology and folklore. And it's just a matter of working with people and tying it down and getting them to record their own heritage involving young people right across the board. And there's a wealth of activities and there's a wealth of creativity that you can bring to that. And we've just had a ball where I live since 2014. We had a previous project called Battles, Bricks and Bridges. We were always pushing out the envelope, pushing out the boundaries of what we could do. We were challenging the experts. The experts loved it. They came alongside us. We became friends. We had more ideas. We rolled things out. And we have more to do. I mean, we're very, very lucky. We have a geopark very, very close to us, and they're one of our partners. And we're now working with them on a longer term project. It's a cross-border one to engage with them on a cross-border basis to unpack their heritage along with what they've currently been doing on their natural heritage. So there's more on the built and archaeological heritage that we can do there. So we're also very, very big in connecting people to heritage, and that's very, very hard to do. There's so much of it out there, but it's in private land and private ownership. So by having a community lead on this, you find you can get access to landowners and farmers because they're in your community. And once you say to them, we want local people to have more access and to become much more aware of what we do, they're open to that. So we've a long way to go. We've a lot of doors to push open, but we're getting there. And more people are finding out what they have near to them and close to them. Their eyes have been open to it. And now that we have COVID, we'll not be traveling as much. So we hope more and more people will unpack what they have whenever they walk out their door and see the richness that is there. And it's full of it, full of it.
Thank you, and congratulations again. Absolutely brilliant. One day I'll come over and visit you, hopefully.
Well, you'd be very, very welcome. And again, I just want to thank Culca to Cleanish Management Committee, our volunteers, our experts in the community who know what they're talking about. everybody who came alongside and made all of this work. It's a testament to them, a testament to the place where we all live. It's wonderful. And thank you for putting us where we are now. We appreciate it very, very much. And we know how hard it has been for you to organise this. So thank you. I'm in Edinburgh. Alma, Rosie and Hannah are here. Anybody wants to come along for a wee lemonade, you're more than welcome.
Well done, Barney.
Brilliant, thank you. And thank you so much as well, Andy. Thank you. Wow, well, that concludes the Archaeological Achievement Awards 2021. And we would like to thank all of our sponsors, funders for their support and understanding. We'd also like to thank everyone who submitted nominations, our shortlisted candidates and winners. You have demonstrated the amazing breadth and contribution archaeology makes to society. Keep an eye out for further social media posts as we see each of the winners receive theirs and show off their awards in the coming weeks. I'd like to say a few words too. I always think our sector works better when we are together, and these awards are true celebration of the collaborative spirit that can be found within our sector. Whether it's the CBA striving to work with our Irish counterparts, archaeological sector bodies and practices coming forward as sponsors for individual awards, and panel judges who have volunteered their time and expertise to consider who the winners are. It's true to say that we couldn't have done this without all of your support, so thank you. I'd really like to offer my greatest thanks to the CBA team. I like to think of them as small but mighty. And like us all, they have worked mainly in isolation for the past 2 years, creating projects and connections to widen the understanding of what archaeology is. This year, they pulled off an amazing calendar of events in the most difficult of circumstances and reached out to millions of people physically and in the digital space. So congratulations, because this award ceremony is also an incredible celebration of your achievements too, and I applaud you. Finally, we are delighted to say that the awards in 2022 will be hosted by the Republic of Ireland, and we look forward to seeing you all then. So please have a safe journey home and cheers. Neil, do you have any words at all?
Yes, I've just got one thing. I think it would be really lovely if everyone wanted to turn their cameras on and put their microphones on and just give all our amazing projects a really big round of applause. And thank everyone so much for everything just turning up.
Well done.
Congratulations, everybody.
Yeah, well done, everyone. Congratulations.
Well done, everyone.
Really fantastic. I'm sorry we weren't in person in Edinburgh, and it feels like we've scooted through all of that. We will be producing some more stuff about all of the projects that were shortlisted, because there's so much value in the applications that were put forward to us, and we really do appreciate all that effort. It won't be wasted, and we will be showcasing a lot of that over the coming months and really reaching out to the people who've won and been highly commended. I've got to prevent myself from putting the awards on my fire to keep me warm. We found a brilliant little company in Wales to make the awards from recycled wood for us. So again, there's a whole narrative and a whole story that builds into issues around archaeology and climate change that we really do want to celebrate. So I'd just like to thank you all very much for turning up. I'd like to thank our sponsors and our funders. I'd like to thank Edinburgh Castle for trying their best to get us there. And hopefully next year, we'll all be able to meet in person. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Neil.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks and well done, everyone. Brilliant.
Yeah, well done, everyone. Good night, all from Wessex Archaeology.
Thanks, Giles.
Thank you so much.
Well done, Leeds. Woo. Thank you, Chris.
Thanks, Neil. You look very smart, by the way. I don't think anybody said it, but I'm just saying it.
It's the first time I've worn a tie for the CVA since my interview.
It's most impressive.
I'm sweating. The fire's on, and it's absolutely roasting in here.
Don't set the Christmas tree alight.
No, don't worry. Thank you, Chris.
Yeah, great evening. Thank you so much.
Brilliant. Thank you.
Good night.
Hi, could I say
Hi.
just say hi from the Maritime Archaeology Trust? I'm so sorry we weren't there to say anything in person. We hadn't had a link for the meeting, but we're absolutely thrilled to have got the highly commended award for the D-Day Stories from the Walls project.
Oh, don't. Sorry. Look, oh, no, here we are. Here you are. There's your certificate. We will absolutely do something to reach out to you.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And
Well done.
yeah, it's congratulations with your awards. I know it's been a really difficult time for everybody, so it's
Yes,
but, yeah.
and sorry, yes, we tried to get to as many people in as many different ways as possible, but I'm glad you made it for this bit. Well done.
Yeah, technology got us there in the end. So, but yeah, thank you so much. It's really important, especially because we get so much input from our volunteers and supporters. So yeah, that's really.
Well, definitely go back to them and say we were hugely impressed, and we're just so grateful that you got the one of the highly commended awards.
Thank you.
All right, brilliant. Thanks, Julie.